From Frontwave Arena, the Four Nations Cup is about to begin. Our first of four matches will pit Brazil against Mexico. But first, the conclusion of the Brazilian national anthem. And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody. Alongside Brian Farber, I'm Craig Elston. Welcome up into the broadcast booth here at Frontwave Arena. It's our first of two matches today, our first of four matches this weekend, an indoor soccer exhibition to wrap up the summer and kick you into fall. We start things with Brazil and Mexico. And Brian, these two teams met in Iowa. This is part of a barnstorming tour that's been taking place. They played a tight, close-knitted affair. And I've got to imagine with USA-Colombia coming up later tonight, this is the real battle. Who can face USA tomorrow in the championship match?
Yeah, previous match was 10-9 in Mexico's favor. However, it could have gone either way in the fourth. I'm expecting to see a very tight one tonight. There's a few tiny little changes to the roster. Mexico is obviously a similar roster for years, and Brazil's trying to come at them and get a win here in San Diego.
Yeah, you'll see over the course of the night pretty much the entire soccer's roster, half represented on the U.S., half represented on Mexico, a little sprinkling into Colombia. But when we look at Mexico, we really start things off by talking about a kid who's had a great summer, soccer's midfielder Charlie Gonzalez.
Yeah, Charlie led the Sockers in points last year, and he's dangerous on both assists and goals, so you never know where his points are coming from. He also won the TST with the game winner, $1 million check there for him and his squad. Familiar faces across that roster as well, but Charlie's coming here to play.
Meanwhile, for Brazil, they will have a couple of new players that you might not have seen. One that we've heard a lot about is Henderson Pereira. We'll keep our eyes on number 7, but you can't help but get your eyes toward the tallest guy on the pitch. That's number 9, Rion Marquez, the star forward of Kansas City.
Yeah, and he is the star of Kansas City for sure. He's strong. He holds the ball well. Between him and American star Riggett up there top together, those two are hard to watch. I mean, hard to defend, fun to watch. I'm expecting him to try to get some points tonight. I would be surprised if they keep him off the score sheet.
That should be a fun one. Coming up at 7 o'clock, we've got Team USA against Colombia. And then tomorrow at 1 o'clock, the two teams who lose today will play for third place. And at 5 o'clock tomorrow, the quote-unquote championship game. So usually whenever you have one of these Four Nations Cup type formats, the first and only question is, when does the USA play Mexico? And the answer is maybe never. Brazil's got a lot to say about it.
Yeah, we'll definitely see, I guess, how they feel each other out here in the first quarter. But, you know, Mexico never gives up. They're the team that is always in it. I would assume even if they were down by a couple goals, they're still in it until it's over.
Let's give you a quick look at these two sides, and we'll start things off with Team Brazil, led by their president, Darwin, their head coach, Thiago Coutinho. 11 players with MASL experience on the Brazilian side. And we mentioned top scorer in terms of an MASL scorer last year, Rion Marquez, with 24 goals, 44 points. Splitting the net, Rainer House, who we saw play in the Ron Newman Cup final against the Sockers for Florida Tropics a few years ago. He'll be with Luan Telles. And some, as we mentioned, head coach Thiago Coutinho, Christian Andreas, a familiar name. And how about 28-year-old 28-year-old Zé Roberto. It's his birthday today. You just can't keep Zezou off the pitch, Brian. He's back out there.
Yeah, I was just talking to him on the field, wishing him a happy birthday. It's great to see him. It'll be fun to watch him play again. He's a legend, and I'm happy to see him back on the lineup.
Felipe Silva, Thiago Henrique, Victor Malaquai, Leonardo de Oliveira of the Sockers, Henderson Pereira, Douglas Lima, ex of the Stars, Christian Andreas, along with Rion Marquez, Williams Vasura, Renan Diaz, and Zé Roberto, your Brazilian team. Team Mexico will have Christian Hernandez, who was such a star in the Ron Newman Cup finals for the three-time champion Savage. He'll split time with Brandon Gomez. 14 MASL players on the Mexican team, 8 different soccers. Charlie Gonzalez, the leading scorer. We talk about Christian Hernandez and Brandon Gomez, and, of course, Rene Ortiz, soccer's top assistant coach, head coach of Team Mexico. The whistle has sounded. First of 4 15-minute quarters are underway. It's Brazil. It's Mexico. It's the Four Nations Cup. Coming to you live from Oceanside, California, and Frontwave Arena. Greg Elston, Brian Farber, our Amoda production team. Happy to be with you. We'll be with you through the night, 7 o'clock for USA and Colombia. Felipe Silva of the Sidekicks looking for the ball in the corner, but there's the soccer's Luis Morales trying to dig it out. Mexico is in green and black. Brazil in all blue, trimmed in yellow. Of course, green, the common national color of both of these countries. So very smartly, whoever designed these uniforms, some guy from Flight, made the right moves here. Green for Mexico.
I was involved in that conversation.
For Brazil. Oh, yeah, he's right here. He's right next to me. That's Rainer House in net. He's had a lot of MASL and also WMF World Cup experience for Brazil. Rian Marquez, 6'4", pushes off against the soccer Cesar Serra and plays it back. There's Leonardo de Oliveira. He's got the blonde tips, summer look. Zé Roberto, the ageless wonder. Is that what they gave him, number 4? What's your age? It just starts with a 4. That's all you need to know. Well, I always enjoy these summer exhibitions, my friend, including some of the chaos of it, such as several of the players whose numbers we were given are now wearing different numbers. So
yeah,
wee bit of mystery.
We'll just have to take some guesses.
Yeah. There's a touch of mystery. But I do see number 7 down there for Brazil, and that's Henderson Pereira. And we're going to keep a close eye on him. We've heard good things. Standard MASL rules are in place for this weekend. And top official on the floor for this opening game, Kia Depina. A very familiar face. We have a whistle and a foul on Brazil down in the corner. And a set piece coming up, and taking the worst of it was Irvin Mojica.
Trying to find the second, looking for the second ball here. Got Rojo.
Cardenas will take the shot and miss it just wide of the frame. And there's big Rojo, Ismael Rojo.
So I think they were looking for Rojo, but there wasn't enough movement for Mitchell to get out of the way, so you kind of have to just go back to plan B, would be just the quick, easy pass to Mitchell for the shot. He almost had it.
And there's the first goal of the match. A quick shot from Jose Antonio Medina from out of the corner. And Medina puts Mexico on top, 1-0 at the 2:26 mark.
It's a nice little turn. Smashed it to the back post. Kept it low. Tough to save. Good finish.
Boy, the precision of that shot, Brian, to just put it inch perfect inside the left post. Great to see. 1-0 Mexico. Again, that goal at 2:26. So and Brazil will have to answer back.
First goal is always super important when you're as a new squad. Brazil coming in here with a couple new guys. I don't know exactly who was on the field for all the players for that goal against, but you have to think that they gave up a soft one.
Leo draws the foul. Renan Diaz, number 3, he strikes a tall figure out there for Brazil, one of the non-MASL players. The organizers of this tournament come from Iowa, part of the Demon Hawks franchise, so there may be some players that are MASL 2 featured along the way that we're going to get to catch our eyes for the first time.
Yeah, it's a good way to let a few players get some national looks on this broadcast. Catch the eyes of a few new teams.
All right, I got a text that had a Sharpied lineup. And it says that number 13 is Ciro Oliveira, who wasn't in the original lineup I got. So that's good to hear. The Empire Strikers player, Ciro Oliveira, number 13. Here's Felipe Silva. His wall pass was defended by Mitchell Cardenas, who knows these walls all too well. Mitchell, who cut his hair last season, is back to the flowing curly locks. And I think that's approved, just generally approved for the culture.
I did let him know that I was good to see his hair back. It's a good conversation before the game.
There's Charlie Gonzalez. As we mentioned, scored the $1 million goal at TST, the June tournament, out in Cary, North Carolina for bumpy pitch. One of his teammates there was Cesar Cerda, another Mitchell Cardenas. Out on the floor. There's Luis Morales. Luis lethal with either foot, but really loves the left. Back out to Jorge Leal of the Savage. Given the way they dominated the league last year, almost unfair to have Sockers and Savage teaming up together.
Or is it really smart?
Good steal for Brazil. That's Chris Andreos getting knocked over of the Kansas City Comets. Down in the corner, there's Henderson Pereira. Vasura taking the measure and handing it off to Zezou. Now down into the corner, it's Henderson. Pereira turning, double team. Morales, lovely spin along the wall. Here comes Luis Morales with a head of steam. Crosses it over to the right side. He's got on that side the goal scorer, Medina. Medina stepping in left-footed. Kick save made by House. Completely wrong-footed on that ball. Now a break the other way. Pereira cuts it wide. The shot and goal.
What a ball.
Basura has leveled things up for Brazil.
That was an unbelievable pass. He had a full head of steam going forward, 2v1, left-footed layoff, perfect stride, tucked it in the top. It was a good finish.
Henderson Pereira with the assist. Great breakout. And that means we got to go all the way back and rewind it to Rainer House being wrong-footed, making kind of an awkward standing save there. There was a lot of net for Medina to shoot at. He found the foot of House, and that's why instead of 2-0, it's 1-1.
That's the best part of this game is in 5 seconds later, you look like you were going to go up 2-0, and it's 1-1 on the other end.
Four Nations Cup in Oceanside, off to a fun start. Indoor soccer fans around the country, hope you're enjoying it as well. Here comes Rion Marquez. Bangs it off the wall, Andreos can't reach. Leo flips it in the air, takes a seat. It looks like the whistle's going to stay here and go to Mexico. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that like button. Make sure to hit subscribe so that you'll see everything that MASL TV has to offer. Pereira with the chest steal, trying to take it away from Big Rojo. Kicks it out, gets it back, shoots it off the wall wide.
That was not far off.
Gets another bite of the apple, and Big Rojo is able to scoop it out. And that one went off the face of Ciro Oliveira. And he didn't even flinch. Wrestling match continues along the wall. It was Gallegos of Team Mexico, Javier Gallegos, they call him Pony, of the Chihuahua Savage. Cardenas back to his San Diego Sockers teammate, Christian Gutierrez. Now Urban Mojica. Mexico possessing in a 1-1 game. About 7 minutes of 15 elapsed in this first quarter. Flight is proud to be the official uniform provider of the Four Nations Cup. Every team on the pitch all day, repping Flight's custom gear designed for performance and style. Look good, play good. Learn more at flightsports.com. Douglas Lima with the steal. And then Zay Roberto puts House in hot water. Gallegos in pursuit. Leo, ball stolen. Gallegos tips it, shot missed. Rodolfo Valenzuela in the center of the crease. As we reach an official's break here, we're going to keep it right here, though, Brian. You know, it's interesting talking to some of the players, and one of the questions you have, it's kind of like the old thing coming back to school. Hey, what'd you do this summer? Tell the folks how many cash tournaments there are that allow indoor/mini football players to keep their legs.
Yeah, you would think that, you know, in some cases these guys are not really fit, but you could actually argue that they're fitter right now because they've been traveling, playing, and, you know, they're trying to keep their game sharp because they have to, you know, try to win the cash prize at the end of the tournament. Most of the time these cash tournaments are winner takes all. There's no cash for the second place. So
makes for a fun but kind of a vagabond summer, doesn't it? Where you put your pins on, did we come up with the right team for this setup? And there's a prize at the end of this one tonight, this weekend as well.
Yeah, I think $10,000 goes to the winning squad. I think that's a great example for what these teams are all here to do, is try to go home with the cash prize in respect of winning the Four Nations Cup. It's definitely, it adds for a little bit of the excitement on the players' side.
Let's take a look, if we can, at the Four Nations Cup format and what you can expect to see here on MASL TV and on the Soccer Network, the National Soccer Network as well, over the course of the next couple of days. As mentioned, right now, our first of two opening round games. It's Brazil and Mexico. 7 o'clock, it's the United States taking on Colombia. And after those two results are in, we'll know our pairings for Sunday. 1 o'clock will be the third place game tomorrow. 5 o'clock will be the championship match. Every game will be live right here on YouTube. But if you happen to be in Southern California, if you're someone watching in San Diego County, you can go to frontwavearena.com, pick up tickets for tonight's game or either of the games tomorrow. Certainly the championship match, you know, is going to be something to watch tomorrow at 5 o'clock with 10 grand on the line. Little extra juice.
Yeah, I've been talking to a lot of the players in the build up to this. Everybody's excited. I mean, it's going to be a fun total weekend. I think the guys are all staying at one hotel, so there's camaraderie, and there's, you know, guys that have played with each other, played against each other for years. So everybody wants to win, and they're sizing each other up right now. Charlie
trying to build out of the midfield here for Mexico. He's got it on the left wing. Charlie Gonzalez, shot saved by Rainer House.
I think Charlie was looking for the back post ball right there, and House was just on it. I don't think he was shooting that to the back post, but tough angle from here. He definitely had a runner, and Charlie's type of player to try to find that person at the back post pretty often.
Christian Andreas, who certainly has had his share of turf burns over his seasons in Kansas City, just drew the foul at midfield. 4 years with the Kansas City Comets, his fifth coming up this season. MASL regular season will kick off in late November. There's Pereira finding Diaz, stepping out. Christian Hernandez, great save. Cutting down the angle. Silva trying to play himself off the wall. Then the left-footed shot, and Hernandez reaction save again. Oh, and he took the worst of it. Yeah, we know where he got hit.
It was a great save.
It sure was.
The volley was exceptional as well. Get some power on that. He didn't have a whole lot of movement in it to come down straight, but he hit it well.
One thing that's fun is they've created here within Frontwave Arena cheering sections by country. So to our right from the north side of the arena, there's a Brazil section, and it's got little Brazilian flags all up and down the walkway to let you know. And then to our left is the Colombian section. And across the way, the Mexican section, pretty well represented right now. Of course, not too many people in the Team USA section, but that's going to fill up for the nightcap. So fun way that you can show who you're rooting for as well, along with your voice, of course.
Yeah, this is a cool event. I guess if I was still playing, I would have loved to have played in it. This is like one of those things where, as a player, you get a little hyped up to play for your national team, and then the $10,000 on the line is, what am I going to do when we win?
Under 6 minutes to go in a 1-1 tie here in the first quarter. Here's Lima trying to step on a counter ball from Leo. Lima steps in and shoots it off the inside of the right post, and somehow it stays out. Failed geometry on this Saturday afternoon.
That was a half an inch away from being 2-1 in Brazil's favor.
Gallegos forces Hernandez out of the corner. Zay's going to head it right back into a dangerous area. Leo's on it. Back heel. What a save. This kid is special.
What a back heel by Leo, and a great save following that.
Whistle sounds out of the corner. We saw him in the grand final. We've seen what he can do. He's one of the star keepers in this league, and he's a very young man.
Yeah, he's got a big future.
He's 24 years old, out of Mexico City. Christian Hernandez. Rojo and Charlie playing in the back right now for Mexico. Mitchell Cardenas, the ever-steady veteran. With his look, if Mitchell wasn't a soccer player, he could have been a tennis player. Doesn't he have the look of it? You can see him throwing up a big old save, a big old service.
Yeah, looks like Rafa Nadal, with
the
thing in his hair.
And everything.
Yeah.
Gutierrez and Cardenas, and 4.5 minutes remain on the running clock here in the first quarter. 1-1 is our score. The goals, Jose Antonio Medina for Mexico at 2:26 and Vasura for Brazil at 5:42. Good move, Luis Morales. Gutierrez making a run. He's going to the middle. Ball's on the wing for Charlie Gonzalez. Charlie tried to feather one through. Rodolfo Valenzuela couldn't get a touch on it, and Rainer House gathers up. 11th minute done, 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Scorebook back for you here from Oceanside on the Four Nations Cup.
So I want you to watch the next 2 minutes. Leo is looking for Rayed as much as he can.
Will be a free kick for Mexico.
Nice touch. That's Vasura. And he goes butt over tea kettle, but no whistle sounds. 2:45 remains in the first quarter. Good challenge there, Mojica. Mojica comes up with it. Lima has to interfere, and he does. Depina watches. Gallegos gets it back. The left footer, Mojica. Over to the ever-steady Cesar Serra, their second team All-League last year. Gallegos. Serta keeps it moving. There's Medina. Punch down House. You definitely see Rainer House's outdoor instincts. You can tell he's been playing outdoors. He goes to ground every time on the saves.
Yeah, you can see that. You can also see how well this Mexican team knows each other. The runs, the overlaps, the layoffs, they know exactly what each other are going to do. This team has been playing with each other for so many games in these events, mini World Cups, and they have a bit of an advantage with the experience of having this squad being such a consistent group.
It's a great point, Brian. Never mind just the nature of guys who are teammates on club.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of soccer guys on one team. But in general, this group is just they know each other really, really well.
If we do get to a USA-Mexico final tomorrow, it will also serve as a summer soccer scrimmage with 8 soccers on Team USA and 8 soccers on Team Mexico.
And there would have been more, but I think Felipe and Childs pulled out last second, yeah?
Yep. Yeah, Craig was going to be in this just like Messi was going to be at the All-Star game.
Hey, he's got a jersey downstairs. I've seen it.
See if you can grab that for me. I always wanted one. Here's Andreas.
I have it in my bag, actually. You can
Well,
have
there
it.
you go. Final minute of the first quarter. Vasura, he's got the 1 goal for Brazil so far. Marquez trying to pull it down with that big old right foot of his. Roberto pushing the other way. Ciro Oliveira. Ciro absorbed a bit of an elbow play on. Cert is able to take it away, ward it off. Back to Hernandez under pressure. Final 30 seconds now. Chance for Lara to look up. Another Tijuanense, Martin Lara. Charlie, 15 seconds. In the corner, Medina. Turning Medina. Down low, Medina. Look out. Still loose. Brazil keeps it out of the net. Barely. Final second. Horn sounds. First quarter complete. Well, fun start to get us underway here from Oceanside, California. Goal for Mexico, goal for Brazil. Nothing decided yet. We're back with second quarter action from the Four Nations Cup here on MASL TV.
Across the nation, MASL players are giving back, utilizing their professional power to touch and inspire people in their local communities nationwide. Free soccer clinics, where kids can meet their heroes and learn new skills. After-school programs and special events. And surprise visits to the classroom. Visiting brave kids in the hospital, bringing joy and hope. Supporting special needs care, partnering with local businesses, and so much more. MASL, passion on the field, purpose off the field, committed to community.
Back at Frontwave Arena, first of 4 indoor soccer contests that will bring you here on MASL TV in the Four Nations Cup. And speaking of international events, this fall, the world comes to Oceanside with the Sports Illustrated Women's Games. 7 sports, 6 nights, Team Americas versus Team World. It all happens from October 28th through November 2nd right here at Frontwave Arena. You can go to AXS.com for ticket information and a lot more. Looking forward to that. 7 o'clock, it'll be USA and Colombia. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, losers play. 5 o'clock, championship game. There you see our next broadcast. They'll all be here on YouTube. MASL TV. I understand the National Soccer Network is picking that up as well, which is also on YouTube. So Here's that format. Brazil, Mexico, USA, Colombia, third place game, first place game. Frontwavearena.com if you'd like to get tickets. Maybe you're watching, you're inspired, you're up in the Empire. They're in the Inland Empire. Never know.
Well, we'll see how this game unfolds. And then I'm sure that the other teams are starting to arrive in a little bit, and they might just be watching on TV or streaming this. But keeping an eye on this game, see who they might face.
Second quarter, we'll see Mexico run right to left in their green kits with black shorts. Brazil in blue with white socks. They will go left to right. Christian Hernandez stays in net for Mexico. Rainer House stays in net for Brazil. 1-1 our score. There's House cradling one. Very active down low, Jose Antonio Medina. He's been running in twos up top and one of the players that's definitely been the most dangerous. There's Mojica for Mexico, making his way up the bench wall on the south side of Frontwave Arena. We look down from the north side, where our camera position is as well. Zé Roberto gets a touch on the steal against Zé, who I can't exactly say which year he retired or which time. One of the 4 times he retired, we had a huge ceremony here. Had one at Pachanga Arena as well. And yet there's Leo off the crossbar. Holy cow. I still think it's pretty amazing that no matter what, Zay 10 years from now will still be able to play in one of these matches.
Yeah, super fit, always ready, very intense. I've been playing against Zay since 2005, back in his Montreal Impact days.
Jeez. 20 years ago. Douglas Lima had that shot that dribbled through traffic, but Hernandez saw it all the way. Second minute of the second quarter. Jorge Leal, Cesar Cerda, and Charlie Gonzalez. Charlie, who normally plays the midfield for San Diego, has been playing more in the back here for Mexico. Cerda coming up, sprung by Charlie. Ball ricochets between Leal, knocked down. Brazil gets a touch. Under pressure, House is happy to just chip it out of there.
Mexico's pressing a little bit and pushing a little bit harder than they were in the first quarter. At least this group. These 5 guys are trying to get a goal right now. Mexico doesn't like to give up many goals, so I was surprised that they gave up 9 goals in Iowa. I haven't seen them give up 9 goals in a long time, but
of course, as we know, this is a big surface, a somewhat slower carpet, as seeing as it's a much newer one, just installed in April. Generally, offense is lower at Frontwave Arena than some other places.
Yeah. I mean, we saw a lot of lower scores in the MASL playoffs. People are trying to get used to the turf, the big field, the glass.
Cerda and Leal cycle the possession for Mexico. 3rd minute done in the second quarter. Diaz drifts it back to House. Trouble. Empty net. House was on safari. Leal couldn't knock it down to shoot. Andreas trying to dig it out. And the whistle will sound, and that's going to be what bails out Brazil this time. On the run, Medina. Medina's got some room here, tracking back. And he was able to diffuse any potential Brazil attack. Coming the other way, Jaime Romero. Gallegos. Romero couldn't get his toe on it. Exciting try. Pereira. Andreas tripped, whistle sounds. the Mexico contingent. Not happy with that call.
No. I think it was a fair call.
Yeah, me too. It was kind of an easy call, to be honest. Oh, look at this through ball trying to get to Henderson. Henderson Pereira. It's always that extra touch that'll kill you, outdoors or indoors. Basura bouncing, shoots it wide. Clipped off the corner glass. Attempt to clear. Douglas Lima, ex of the Tacoma Stars, will track it down for Brazil. Pereira in the corner. Rojo all over him. Got it out quickly. Cardenas is going to use the outlet of his keeper. Back to Gallegos. 1/3 of the way through this opening contest in the Four Nations Cup. We're in Oceanside, California, Frontwave Arena. With the action continuing tomorrow, matches at 1 and 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 o'clock tonight, USA Colombia. 1-1 our score here. The goals at 2:26 and 5:42 of the first quarter. Here comes Mojica. Cardenas. Dancing in the corner, Medina for Mexico. He's got their lone goal. It was the one that got things started. An inch-perfect roller right to left, just inside left post. Gonzalez. Marquez able to defend. Double team in the corner. Rian Marquez, lovely spin out of it. Sends the ball down the middle. Nobody home for Brazil. With a late change. Well done by Diaz of Brazil to get the ball forward. It's Leo with Andreas. Leo looking for Andreas. Slide tackle the ball by Gutierrez. Leo gets it back. Again off of Christian's leg. Tipped about. Raked along the glass and kicked out by Charlie. Serta has a runner to his left. He says, Kamate. We're going to slow things down and hold possession as the clock ticks down to 8:10. Clock running in the second quarter. Serta. You gotta love being here at Frontwave Arena. A couple kids, age 9, 10, that basically had their heads in Serta's armpits. They're so close to the action there in the first row.
That's the fun part about having these no glass on the boards, on the sides. You can really kind of chat with the fans. That was always one of my things as a player is relationships with the fans, whether I was home or away.
Charlie sending in Lara. Great save. House rebound wide. Second chance knockdown and blocked. Lima and Roberto in the middle to keep it 1-1.
It's a great reaction right there. The ball off the boards with the header, making that save.
Gallegos, little step over. The shot high into the netting. And that'll bring us to the officials' timeout. We're going to take it along with the officials. No scoring yet in this second quarter, but we're going to come back and bring you the rest of the first half. Opening game of the Four Nations Cup on MASL TV. MASL fans, the league has a brand new merch website for you, including exclusive Capelli Sport apparel in the brand new league store, plus team stores for 8 clubs. All you have to do is go to maslsoccer.com/shop. maslsoccer.com/shop. Check it out, peruse the stuff, find what you like, and we'll see you this fall at an MASL arena near you. The arena nearest us is the one we're inside. It's Oceanside's Frontwave Arena. Game 1 of the Four Nations Cup between Brazil and Mexico is a 1-1 tie. Craig Elston, Brian Farber here with you. Brazil in blue, Mexico in green. And the whistle that clipped down Medina near the penalty box drew the ire of the Mexico fans, but it's Brazil's ball.
Didn't look like a foul, but I'm not a ref.
Thank goodness. I think you'd be an excellent ref, but
Gallegos, I don't know about that.
I mean, you give out way too many yellow cards. Cardenas. There goes Medina on another determined run. Leo got a touch on it. Chipped forward. Can Douglas Lima get there? He got bumped off expertly. And the whistle sounds. Now, there's one I might disagree with myself. Looked like Jaime Romero got a clean shoulder to shoulder there for the bump off. We'll give it to Brazil. Soccers fans, don't miss a moment of the action. Season tickets for the upcoming soccer season are on sale now. Lock in your seats today and be part of every goal, every save, and every win at Frontwave Arena. All you got to do is go to sdsoccers.com or frontwavearena.com. Hernandez keeps the ball in play. Perfectly arced parabola along the corner glass. Breakout Luis Morales with Rojo. Couldn't get the ball to him. Leo in the way. Well done. Leonardo de Oliveira looking quite fit.
Yeah. Which is a good thing for the Soccers this year,
I would say. By the way, these teams will be going to the MASL Combine in October in Oklahoma City. The final day of the Combine will feature a USA-Mexico match that some Combine players who show well will get a chance to suit up in. So, as I was hearing from the young man from Iowa, it's part of their barnstorming tour. So they're going to 16 different venues and just shut it down for the MASL season and then jump right back in next summer as well. So look for them coming to a city near you.
The Combine was a success last year here in Oceanside. A couple players signed contracts with the team and staying with them throughout the season, earning their stripes in the league.
It's great to see. Oliveira back to Diaz. Looks like he's wearing the captain's armband out there. And Arreos sitting back in an indoor version of a low block right now, Mexico. Diaz chips it in the middle. Charlie was right there. Well read. Has his own teammate in front of him. Says, here, you take it. I'll keep running. 4:20 left in the first half.
So as the clock starts to tick down, we might go into halftime with 1-1. It's likely, actually, at this point. But the next goal is super important. So it's going to be a low-scoring affair. We've seen that. The score might be 4-3. So whoever gets that next goal is in the position.
A lot of the offense has gone through Medina, Brian, in this first half.
Yeah, he's hanging out in the zone. He's been getting a lot of touches.
Gutierrez leaning back, pops it up into the high netting. Are you ready to rock? Dream Theater's 40th anniversary tour featuring Parasomnia and a change of season is coming to San Diego on October 4th. An iconic lineup featuring James Labrie, John Young, John Petrucci, Mike Portnoy, and Jordan Rudis to celebrate the band's chart-topping 16th studio album, Parasomnia. Don't miss a night of killer classics. Go to frontwavearena.com. Get your tickets today. Stepping in, Gallegos, Javier Gallegos. Spins it into the corner. Lima chunks it out. Marquez trying for a break. Instead, stepping in Cerda for the re-steal. 3:15 and less. Gutierrez down the middle. Tiptoe shot, what a save. House. A house of fire. Now loose. It's up to Hernandez to intervene. He's going to send it the other way. A tired Gutierrez coming in anyway. Down to Medina. You know, it's funny. Reiner House has been in the minors the last couple of years. It might be a visa issue, an MASL2 thing, but I've always thought he's one of the better shot stoppers in the league.
Yeah, he's always had the ability to be a good shot stopper. He's a good goalkeeper, so I'm surprised he hasn't been. Maybe it has to be a visa issue for him to not be with the top team.
I know a lot of the Brazilians have kind of settled in Iowa who don't get the MASL visa. 2:48 left as that shot goes high. It's cool to see some Columbia jerseys already in the arena, some U.S. jerseys. There's a lot of color and pageantry. And by the way, just for everyone watching, you can have some FOMO out there. In between games, the Pala Casino Starlight Patio and the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance stage area is going to have live music and food and drink and dancing and all sorts of cultural activities. So they're really making a weekend out of it up here in North County, San Diego. Good battle for the ball here. And a whistle will be the answer to it. It was Lara versus Andreos. Mano y mano. Roberto just had a piece of tape come off of him. I hope he'll stay together. I saw him down in the training room. He said he's going to get taped up. Do you need more tape now? He said, no, less. Otherwise, it'll be too stiff. Leo, under 2 minutes to go. Leonardo de Oliveira dancing through. Lara takes it away. Those two were battling down in Chihuahua last April. An Easter Sunday that the Sockers would like to forget, that's for sure. Started well.
Yeah, it started well. Leo had a game.
He had a great game. Tough to win in Chihuahua. That's what the league's finding out.
Well,
3 straight years.
I would say that maybe coach shouldn't have been on the bench for the second half, but I wasn't there. Had I been, though, I think I would have probably highlighted that quite a bit, knowing me.
If you were there.
You're too professional. You're too nice. I would have called him out and everybody else.
There are many stories from that weekend.
I can only imagine.
70 seconds remain in this half. Down into the corner, the ball goes. Whistle's going to give it to Mexico. And, boy, this would be a defining goal for the half. Obviously not for the match, but would certainly change the half if Mexico could cash a set piece right here. 2 players. Is one going to run over the ball and the other shoot it? It's Cardenas and Charlie. Cardenas veers off. Charlie shoots off the wall, looking for Cardenas. Left-footed try, just wide. 58 seconds remain in the first half. Kicked out. Last bite maybe goes to Mexico. It's Charlie on the run. Kicked out of the legs of Ciro Oliveira.
Charlie was asking for it. He wants something.
Sends it back to Cardenas. Half-minute remains. Little room. Back to Mitchell. Valenzuela got himself loose for a second. Charlie, 20 seconds. Battling with Ciro. House grabs it. Smart play. Very steady. Strong arm out. Looking for Henderson Pereira. 4 seconds. No final shots in this quarter. The first half comes to an end. No scoring in the second quarter. A little bit of a surprise in that. I guess what I'd basically say, Brian, is the fact that the score is tied is not surprising at all, and the fact that the score is 1-1 is a little bit.
I think we knew it was going to be tight no matter what. Like you said, it's hard to come by the goals here and maybe on this turf, and it's definitely going to maintain this tightness throughout the next 2 quarters based on what I just saw.
Exciting stuff and plenty more to come. We're going to take a break, and Brian and I will be back with some more thoughts on the MASL summer that has been. After this, 1-1 from the Four Nations Cup in Oceanside.
Across the nation, MASL players are giving back, utilizing their professional power to touch and inspire people in their local communities nationwide. Free soccer clinics, where kids can meet their heroes and learn new skills. After-school programs and special events. And surprise visits to the classroom. Visiting brave kids in the hospital, bringing joy and hope. Supporting special needs care, partnering with local businesses, and so much more. MASL, passion on the field, purpose off the field, committed to community.
And we welcome you back into the broadcast booth. It's halftime. Craig Elston, Brian Farber here with you at the Four Nations Cup. 1-1 is our score. Mexico and Brazil will have some second half action still to come. But first, just got some time to chat. Me and Brian, you and me. It's great to have you here. Great to have the indoor soccer people all regathered. And as we talked about a little bit earlier, Brian, it's interesting in the summer because I think there's a lot of fans who don't know just like what goes on. And for some folks, it's another job. For some folks, it's coaching. For some folks, it's cash tournament play, being Ronin, wandering the world, wandering the country, trying to find cash prizes along the way. But the one thing that never stops is playing. It seems like playing is the key.
Yeah, you have to maintain some level of fitness and tie to the game as a player. You might coach more than you play in the summer months, some players, but for the most part, these guys are cash tournaments. They're out and about. They're playing as much as they can, as regular as they can, and you start to see it. I think I'm going to keep talking because we're having some maintenance conversations going on right now. But, yeah, I think the other thing about that, Craig, is that in the end of things, these guys are preparing for their next season the whole time, right? What was their weakness during the last season? How can they improve? What roster changes are happening? You look at the Sockers, for example, just because I'm close to it. You bring in new players. You have Toth coming back, big signing. Now you have Toth and you have Boris. You have 2 number ones. Then you have Pacheco coming in from Baltimore. Huge pickup. Probably like a low-key, massive pickup because he's a defensive midfielder who does the dirty work, but he contributes offensively. So all of these players are examples of they all have their own story. They're going back to Kansas City or they're going back to Baltimore or they're having babies and they want to think about their family. There's a lot of things that happen in the offseason, and that's really where you have to start to set yourself up for the preseason and getting yourself ready. You can't come in hurt. You can't come in unfit.
Meanwhile, here, just speaking provincially for a moment, in San Diego, it feels like a different soccer summer than any I've experienced in my life since moving here when I was 18 years old in 1990, because MLS is here along with NWSL. And it's now created a 12-month-a-year soccer culture, and we've seen supporter culture grow, and as it does, people are now more quickly equating, okay, SDFC, Soccers, Wave, Soccers. Like to me, it just feels like SDFC is a rising tide that's lifted all boats.
I was just going to say that exact phrase. So absolutely. You now have 3 professional teams that are all at the top of their game. San Diego Football Club they're the first year, and they're at the top of the West, right? And you have the Soccers. They're always perennial competitive champions or trying for a championship. And then you have the Wave, and they've won supporter shields coming out of the gate. They're a young club, and they have a rich history. They just retired Alex Morgan's number. Everybody is talking about soccer in San Diego, and it's fun to watch the fans. They're involved on all 3 teams.
A lot of fun. You can see the fun that's happening down on the floor as well. And when we come back, we'll have some other highlights from the first half. It's Mexico 1, Brazil 1. It's the Four Nations Cup. First of 4 matches we have for you this weekend. And we'll have some more after this quick timeout on MASL TV.
Indoor soccer fans, it's time to unleash a giant leap for fandom. Introducing MASL Indoor Soccer Fantasy Football. Build your dream team, invite your friends, and create your own draft league, all for free. Draft and trade players and win bragging rights as your team dominates the league. With MASLI Football, you're not just a fan, you're part of the action. Go to MASLI Football to sign up, get started, and play.
Back in Oceanside, halftime is continuing here from the Four Nations Cup. Brazil and Mexico are tied 1-1. Later on, 7 o'clock tonight, we will have USA against Colombia. That'll be available right here, same channel, MASL TV and National Soccer Network via YouTube. And it's going to be certainly a lot of fun to see what we see from Team USA, because when I look at the roster of Team USA, I basically see at least 85% of an MASL All-Star team.
Yeah, that's a squad. There's definitely some players that are missing from this lineup that you could say, should be here if you want to put together your best team, but you're not sacrificing much with the players that are here. It's just more of like a subjective conversation at that point.
A couple of things I'm going to be really excited to see when we get to this second match. A couple of kids who teamed up as rookies in St. Louis about 5-6 years ago, Zach Reggett and Justin Stinson, getting the chance to get back out on the same floor as teammates once again. They were very entertaining as 22 and 23-year-olds, and they're still top of the league now, both guys coming off of great years.
Yeah, both those guys are, like you said, all-stars in the league, and not only that, they're both entertaining. They can both score goals, and I think that that's what the fans want to see is goals. So both of them can put some up.
Let's take a look now at the highlights from the first half of this one. The players grew up just like that. They grow up so fast, don't they? Here's the first goal of the match. It's Medina, just an inch perfect shot. Really nothing that Rainer House could do here, Farbs.
No, it was a quick turn on the boards. He's kind of far away, all the way out wide, so you didn't think he's going to shoot it, but he tucked it in the bottom corner.
Then a 2v1, perfectly cut over, and the finish even stronger. That was Vasura. Take another look at a roof ball.
Yeah, that layoff, though, is what set it all up. It pulled the keeper out. He had to come out a little bit to try to cut it at an angle, and he put it in the top.
Rainer House had a huge second quarter defensively, Fleury in front. He did the double fist pump there, but he's going to continue to accept the heavy work. Takes one off of the chest. Well placed. And there's your highlights. They get younger so much faster, too. It's wild like that. Well, as we see some scoring at halftime, let's take our final timeout of the half. And when we come back, we'll get you all geared up, and we'll kick it off for the third quarter. We'll bring the adults back out. It'll be Mexico and Brazil, and it'll be decided who moves on to the championship match. First, a quick timeout on MASL TV.
Across the nation, MASL players are giving back, utilizing their professional power to touch and inspire people in their local communities nationwide. Free soccer clinics, where kids can meet their heroes and learn new skills. After-school programs and special events. And surprise visits to the classroom. Visiting brave kids in the hospital, bringing joy and hope. Supporting special needs care, partnering with local businesses, and so much more. MASL, passion on the field, purpose off the field, committed to community.
Calling all Clippers fans, the NBA's LA Clippers are coming down to San Diego's Frontwave Arena for a preseason game you don't want to miss. Secure your seats now to watch the Clippers take on the Gwangju Luong Lions on October 9th. Check it out. Clips, Lions. Don't know if Kawhi will be a no-show on that or if he'll be there. He wasn't there last time, but you get to see most of the NBA's Clippers here. And I love that they're, with their association, of course, the San Diego Clippers in the G League, that like it used to be when I was a kid where the Lakers would come to the sports arena every October. Now we get the Clippers every October here up in Oceanside.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I came to the game last year. I got to hang out with some of the ownership group actually for a little bit just as they were soaking in the first basketball match within this building and the future of the San Diego fans, the community that was rallying around them. So I think they had a great experience, and I think it'll be something that happens, like you said, for every year to come.
Meanwhile, the San Diego Clippers back in action as well. Weekend's becoming a lot more action-packed. SD Clippers tickets for the upcoming season are on sale now. Lock in your tickets today. Be part of every dunk, block, and win here at Frontwave Arena. How do you do that? You go to frontwavearena.com. FrontwaveSports.com. We brought you the highlights earlier. Now we're getting ready for third quarter action, and it is interesting. I think the context to me is that these clubs played a couple weeks ago in Iowa, and they played a 10-9 game. And here we have 1-1 through 30 minutes, and House, some big saves. Honestly, Christian Hernandez, some big saves along the way as well. And I think one of the first questions we're going to get answered quickly, will there be a change in net for one or maybe both teams?
Yeah, I mean, the guys came here to play. You don't come here to sit down. I mean, they do have 2 matches, so they might stick with the keeper that's got the hot hand right now. I'd be surprised to see House come out. But, yeah, a different venue. So the result being 10-9 in Iowa is, different floor, different size field. So it's hard to relate it to thinking that you're going to get another 10-9 game, but 1-1 at halftime is definitely low.
I'll be very curious to see if the action picks up, if his legs get tired, maybe defenses spread out and get a little thin. But I'll also just say from a reporting standpoint, it does appear that Lawan Tellis, who has featured a couple of different seasons as a reserve with Chihuahua Savage, is warming up right now, and it's Rainer House who's warming him up. So I'm guessing that we are going to see a switch. I also saw Brandon Gomez of the Empire Strikers warming up with Christian Hernandez. So in a moment, we'll get the answer. It'll become apparent with whoever steps onto the floor. Meanwhile, for anyone who might have just dripped in, let's show you what's going on this weekend here at Frontwave Arena with our Four Nations Cup format. Total of 4 matches. 4 nations, 4 matches. Here's match 1, Brazil-Mexico. Coming up later, USA-Colombia. That'll be at 7 o'clock tonight. Whoever wins moves on to the first place game, which is tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Whoever loses falls into the third place game. That will be at 1 o'clock. And as we discussed earlier, a $10,000 cash prize to the winning team. Each one of these teams has about 16 players, field players on it. So, do the math. And then, kick down for the trainer and assistant coach, etc. Come away with a nice little pocket change for the weekend.
I think it's more bragging rights, if anything, that when you guys go out to the bar afterwards, you say, hey,
right,
I got it because we just took you down.
As long as they go to the bar and not a little further, like to Ocean's 11 or up the road to Pachanga or somewhere, then that money will disappear right quick. Brazil is in blue. Mexico in green. The ball is reset at midfield, and we're ready to go. Third quarter here. Game 1, Four Nations Cup. 1-1. Let's see what this second half has to offer as Kia Depina blows the whistle and sends us forward in time. Indeed, it is Lawan Tellis in net for Brazil. However, it remains Christian Hernandez in net for Mexico. Serta is going to have to play his keeper right away and very calmly sends it out to midfield. Brian is a player who excelled both outdoors and indoors. How long does it take a player when you make that transition to lose the panic? Because things happen so fast indoors and you have to stay calm, and that time that you have outdoors to react and take that extra touch, it just isn't there.
It's definitely a different game. The adjustment comes over, a couple weeks. I mean, there's a portion of time for me as a midfielder, I'm not sitting in the back, so I'm not dumping the ball into the corner. I'm not hitting a 40-yard ball ever. So there's like 6 months out of the year, 5 months out of the year where I was not striking a ball at distance. So then I get it to the outdoor preseason, and I'm like, oh, geez, here we go.
That one went over the low wall. It's right back to Mexico. Gallegos.
I will say, though, for the players that excel in indoor, the outdoor game does become easier in many ways. Like you were
Cardenas
saying.
backdoor. Good look. Morales couldn't bring it down. But see, I couldn't agree with you more, man. And of course, very, very heavy outdoor summer for me, right? Watching so much outdoor, working so much outdoor, supporting so much outdoor. And I can't tell you how many times I've watched a play and said to myself, that guy needs to play indoor.
Yeah.
Like if he did, he would have a clean finish there and he wouldn't panic. And I just, when I see how the ball pinballs and the guys keep their heads, I just think that's an indoor developed skill.
Yeah, it definitely is you gain a lot of those little quick responses when you play in the indoor league for a while.
Well, Carden is trying to feed a soccer ball to a fan, but you got to throw it back here. Ciro Oliveira then puts it into Morales, and Morales steals it. And then he shoots and scores! ¡Qué golazo! ¡Oh, oh, oh! ¡Sucio! Luis Morales, 2-1.
That was all Morales. He poked it away. We stood in the crease, knocked it away, took it off, and then left-footed banger off the bottom of the crossbar. That was smashed.
Look at the perfect pinpoint precision on that absolute missile of a shot. 1:48 the time of goal. And an unassisted goal for Luis Morales.
That really came from nothing. It was a free kick their way. He didn't have to play it, and Morales made the best of it.
He had such an explosive start to his soccer's career last year, and it was plays like that. Just reminded you, in an instant, he can create a goal.
Yeah, he came in ready to make an impact.
Here's a player trying to find his way onto an MASL squad. Henderson Pereira, and then one of the most blatant flops you'll ever see. Not ready for prime time there, Henderson. Sorry about it.
I don't even know what was going on right there. I'm just going to not even talk about it.
It looked like a magic trick. Like, wave the finger and I fall.
Mitchell just laughed and ran off.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Rodolfo Valenzuela to Cesar Cerda. Cerda, as he often does, wearing the captain's armband, does it for San Diego as well as Team Mexico. There's Medina, who has one of the 2 Mexico goals. Battling in the corner. Renan Diaz gets just plowed by Medina. Easy foul to call. Telles. Andreas, no, ball missed him. Mexico gets a freebie. 3rd minute done, 3rd quarter. Gutierrez over to Cerda. Here's Luis Morales. Bursts past his man. He's open again. Oh, it got too fancy. Too fancy. Went for the double soul roll when he needed the toe poke shot right there after so much good work to create a wide open scoring lane. Diaz pressured again. Steal. Morales. 1v1. Yo, nails the right post. Well done to trigger it by Rodolfo Valenzuela. Now it's Mojica. Shot blocked. Diaz had to get his body in the way. Mexico turning up the pressure here in the 3rd quarter. Gutierrez rolls one wide. Chipped out of the defensive zone. Cerda regathers for Mexico. The Morales goal seemingly lighting a fuse. Mexico's energy level ramping up. Brazil hanging on right now. Charlie to Mojica, down low. Ball keeps moving. It's Leal. Telles did well to use his big frame to ward off anybody and let the ball roll into the area he could grab it with his hands. Pereira gives it away. Morales back at it. Luis surveys. It's time for him to come off. And Medina comes back on. Jose Antonio Medina.
I think if it continues like this with Mexico maintaining possession of the ball in longer stints.
Zay got the steal. He sends in Lima. Lima bangs it off the glass. Nobody in place for that rebound.
What I was saying was in the fourth quarter, you're really going to see the difference between Brazil just having tired legs, and it's going to catch up to them on a play, which will separate it, give another goal. If it keeps going like this and stays tight, it's going to come down to the legs.
Yeah. .938. As soon as they start the whistle, it will be. Luis Morales with the unassisted goal to give Mexico the lead. Back to Rojo. Lara. Good step up by Marquez. Leo leaves it off. Ciro Oliveira. Ciro to Lima. Lima on the wing. He's exposed. No one really to work through. Had to wait for Leo to come in. Mexico screaming for too many men on the floor for Brazil. Meanwhile, Chris Hernandez able to gather that one in easily. Serta under pressure there. Did well to get the ball away. Lara now. On the run, it's Rojo. Back post. Morales couldn't get there. Luis. And well tucked away by Brazil. Back to Telles.
The misread was because he slipped the ball through his legs, and I don't think he expected it. Otherwise, he would have been in the perfect spot.
Andreas. Christian Andreas. He's got Henderson in the middle. Serta read the play. Always on the ball, Cesar Serra. Gets the ball from Hernandez. Morales now, little backheel pass. He's kicking in Lara. Lara along the wall, tried to feed it to the middle. Leo stole it away. Next whistle of a ball out of play will be our officials' timeout for this quarter. As we go under 8 minutes. Winner moves on to the championship match tomorrow at 5 p.m. Loser plays at 1 o'clock. Leo. Pereira. Henderson Pereira. Douglas Lima. Leo finding his man in the middle. Diaz, bouncing ball. No one can control. Kicked out by Mexico. Lima's got it back. Looking for a back post option. Shot blocked by Gallegos. Right in between the legs at pinball. The whistle sounds. It's a common foul against Brazil.
Leo wanted that ball down low from Lima. And we're on the... It's again, that comes down to not playing with each other. Ever, maybe.
Right. Here's Medina. To the middle! Great setup. Better finish. Valenzuela puts it home from the middle of the crease. And our first multi-goal lead of the Four Nations Cup as Mexico gets a brace in the third quarter.
Yeah, just unmarked in the middle. I think it looked like maybe Z let him through, actually. I mean, he had the angle. You wouldn't expect him to cut across, maybe, but it's a good finish.
Both teams are gathered at their benches. It's the media timeout. Let's take it. 3-1. Mexico has gained the lead over Brazil. It's the Four Nations Cup on MASL TV. Flight is the proud official uniform provider of the Four Nations Cup. Every team on the field today repping Flight's custom gear designed for performance and style. Look good, play good, learn more. Get your club outfitted. Go to the experts at flightsports.com, F-L-I-T-E sports.com. 3-1 Mexico. The goal at 8:03 could be another, and it surely shall be! Will that be credited as Medina's second? I think it should be. One of his teammates ran it over the line there, Romero. A slow spinner, the definition of a hospital ball there, my friend.
He might have stole it off the line before it crossed.
How mad would you be if you lost your goal that way? Well, you get the assist at least.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, they're trying to win $10,000, and it would have gone in anyway. But yes, they'll have a good laugh about it in the locker room.
Well, that's 2 goals in 21 seconds. They are giving it to Medina. So Medina now with 2 goals and an assist in this contest. And he is your early Four Nations Cup Golden Boot leader.
What does he win?
All right, let's see if we can see something back from Brazil to turn this match around. All Mexico second half. Poked away from Douglas Lima as he sought an aerial ball near the back post. Morales now bursting. He's got a runner in front. Couldn't get it to him. That was the goal poacher, Romero. Jaime Romero of the Savage. Under 6 to play in the third. Lara. Martin Lara. Diaz, lithe, lanky figure staying with him on defense. Renan Diaz. There's Morales in the middle, left it back for Charlie. Kicked out of the middle by Pereira. Brazil is suiting 3 fewer players than Mexico, and it just got me thinking about what you were saying earlier about if it goes like this, it can come down to tired legs. Just you see the same players out there for Brazil all the time.
Yeah, in the indoor game, if you have a solid team like Mexico does, and you have rotating players constantly like they do, and you better have something similar or you're going to pay the price. And Brazil is down 3 players, and they picked up 2 players just like yesterday or the day before. So those guys didn't play together in Iowa. Who knows how fit they are. And it just, over the time of 4 quarters, Mexico has the advantage.
If it plays this way, we'll take the first step towards a USA-Mexico final tomorrow. But lots of time left, so Brazil fans, keep the flame lit. Steal by Diaz. Couldn't get the ball away to trigger the counterattack. And Vasura working with him. Back heel layoff. Serta into the corner. Back to Serta. Saved by Tellus. He came out. Put his team under pressure right there. Felipe Silva sends the middle. Cesar Serta trying to take it away. Tellus again. Bouncing it along the top of the boards. Stolen Rojo. Backdoor Medina. Hat trick.
It's a good ball by Rojo. Set him up. Medina, top corner. You knew he was going to hit that for sure. It was just a matter of taking a touch where he wanted to put it. Comes across, settle it. No. Boom. Top corner. So he could have taken a touch and put it near post, or he could just trust his instincts and hit it first time before keeper has a chance to set his feet. Very unselfish play by Rojo to lay that off.
Jose Antonio Medina has 3 goals and an assist. He's accounted for 4 of the 5 Mexico goals. And it's now a healthy lead of 5-1 for Mexico. Ciro got that foul.
Now you have to see how Brazil's going to respond. They have to get the next goal. You can't get this to 6-1 and think that they have a chance to come back. They have to get the next one, make it 5-2.
Zé Roberto, nice ball into the corner. And then out of play off of the foot of Cardenas, but it hit the top of the wall first, so no top of the arc free kick. Don't miss your chance to see some of the world's best female athletes right here at Frontwave Arena this fall. The Sports Illustrated Women's Games start October 28th, featuring Olympic gold medalist gymnast Jade Carey, flag football icon Diana Flores, Oceanside's own WNBA star Tahina Paopao, and many more. Get your tickets at AXS.com. Under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. We're getting close to the 1-year anniversary of Frontwave Arena being opened. And it's so neat to see the number of concerts, the variety, different events now taking place. Really awesome.
Yeah, this place is amazing. I think that the dream that Phil had of making this thing come to life for the Sockers, and I think during the process for him, even he's been surprised with all the other doors that have opened and opportunities that have come, and you know, the entertainers that have been in here, from comedy to music.
Right.
Simone Biles. There's been some fun stuff in this arena already, and it's only less than a year old.
Working down to the final 2 minutes of the frame. It's been all Mexico, 4 goals in this quarter. Leo trying to generate something on his own, but he couldn't feed it to Marquez. Neither one of them were close enough to the net to make it truly dangerous. Lara. Gallegos. And now Cerda. As Marquez marking him with his Kansas City Comets teammate, Christian Andreas, right there on his hip. A bracket of Cerda. Final 75 seconds now in the frame. Cerda probing at center circle. Gallegos turns from right to left hip. There's Luis Morales down low. The once and future soccer. Dancing in, opportunity, dropped back, 45 seconds. Lara now on the wing. Zay stays with him, Zay Roberto. What a way to celebrate your birthday. Get back out there and look like the best defender on the floor. Cardenas. Back to Luis. Escoto style, just leaning against the boards. Cardenas got tripped up, play on. Picked up by Lara, looking to feed it to Morales. Well cleaned by Silva. Game continues. Marquez trying to get out from a host of Mexico players. And this will be the end of the third quarter of play. What a quarter for Mexico. Morales got it started, and he kind of opened the floodgates at 1:48. Then goals at 8:07, 8:28, and 11:16. Valenzuela got one. Medina got 2 more, and it's 5-1 Mexico. Fourth quarter action from Frontwave Arena next, live on MASL TV.
soccer fans, it's time to unleash a giant leap for fandom. Introducing MASL Indoor Soccer Fantasy Football. Build your dream team, invite your friends, and create your own draft league, all for free. Draft and trade players and win bragging rights as your team dominates the league. With MASLI Football, you're not just a fan, you're part of the action. Go to MASLI Football to sign up, get started, and play.
Country music fans, get ready for a night of heart and soul you don't want to miss. Oceanside's Frontwave Arena is hosting the second annual KSON Christmas with a star-studded lineup featuring Ty Myers, Tucker Westmore, Vincent Mason, and more. Put on your best boots and mosey on down to Frontwave Arena on December 6th to see all these talented performers take stage. FrontwaveArena.com. Get your tickets now. Advertising Christmas? We don't even have the pumpkin spice out at Starbucks yet, do we? Who's? Oh, apparently they do. I actually never go to Starbucks. I always go to 7-Eleven, so that's just me. Craig Elston, Brian Farber here with you. We'll be back at 7 o'clock for the United States and Colombia. Tomorrow, Tony Sanchez will join me in the booth for the third-place game at 1 p.m. Right now, it's looking like Brazil against the U.S.-Colombia loser, but Brazil has 15 minutes to turn that around. And then at 5 o'clock tomorrow, we will bring you the championship match, a 10-grand purse on the line, bragging rights. We'll definitely have the biggest crowd, but I'm very encouraged to see, especially on the Mexico side of the floor, a lot of people coming out to support El Tri.
Yeah, I think you're always going to get a good support group here, especially with this team, but in San Diego, versus Iowa, I don't know what the fan support was out there, but you would always expect. And I think last year when I played in the match, U.S. versus Mexico, it felt like it was 70% Mexico, 30% USA. So I think tomorrow night they're going to come out even more. It's hard to maybe commit to 2 days in a row, but yeah.
Well, here we go. Mexico in green and black, going right to left in our final quarter. Brazil in blue and white. They're going to go left to right. They need 4 goals without conceding another in order to get it to a tie score. Mexico has been in control this half. It was 1-1 at the end of the first quarter. It was 1-1 at the end of the second quarter. But 4 goals for Mexico. Here's Cardenas trying to add a 5th. Well blocked by Brazil in the middle. Jose Antonio Medina is your star of the match. Number 23, the burly forward, who is out on right wing right now for Mexico, has 3 goals with an assist. He would have had, I was going to say he would have had another, but it wasn't poached after all. I was going to change my mind on that one. Back to Cardenas. In the middle, Medina. Medina wants 4. Sliding to prevent that, Henderson Pereira. Now Charlie sees an opening. Bangs it off the Kaiser Permanente sign above the frame. First minute done, fourth quarter. And as Brian expertly pointed out earlier, Brazil starting to slow down even in the third, and now those 3 fewer bodies to rotate through. Great save, Rainer House back in there. That's maybe another note, although I don't think he would have looked at any of those 4 goals and really said, well, Luan Telles did poorly on it. But regardless, House is maybe a better organizer for Brazil defensively in the back.
Yeah, it's hard to say, not being in the lineup or knowing for sure, but that could have been the difference on at least maybe 1 or 2 of them. This could be a 3-1 game, but again, we could be wrong, and it could have been the same exact result.
Yeah, you never know up here. Game looks a lot easier from the mezzanine level.
It does.
Cerda. Morales got held off by Christian Andreas. Andreas back to House. Zay, ball corkscrewed off his leg. Andreas forced into the washing machine, taken away. Morales tiptoeing a pass just to the wall to get it back to himself as the second minute expires in the fourth and final quarter. 5-1 Mexico, our score. Opening match of the Four Nations Cup. Some of the U.S. players are in the stands watching the action, getting ready for their nightcap to come. Here's Gallegos, has a man on the back post. That was Morales. Shot pass blocked by Zay. Zay Roberto. Cerda. When you see someone as fit as Zay Roberto, you have to understand he's going to be this fit the rest of his life.
Yeah, he never really stops. We used to listen, fitness was my thing too, no problem. But there was guys where we would be on a road trip and Zay would take us on a jog and he would just go. And we would be like, Z, this is not smart. We have a game tomorrow, and he could handle it, and others maybe probably couldn't. And I was kind of stuck in the middle because I could handle it, but I didn't really want to do it either. But I wanted to follow the leader, our captain, and do what he's asking and not separate the group. But there was 6, 7 guys being like, no, come on. This is too much.
I know who one of them was.
Yeah, you do. But and so I have my captains on both ends, so I'm trying to bridge the gap. But at the end of the day, Z is a very fit human being, and he takes it very serious, and his kids are the same way. And it's just how he is. And he sets a good example for everybody.
He really does. For all of us.
Exactly.
Free kick for Brazil. Boy, it would help them if they could get this in. Off the Frontwave Credit Union logo just above the frame. Leo trying to turn and create. El Mágico. Ooh. Leo asking if they brought cards with them on the trip, and Kia says, yeah, I brought mine. Here's a blue card. We'll see our first penalty of the night.
It makes sense. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, Mares probably has him by 60 pounds, but the boards are not a good place to push somebody.
Now Marquez still feeling the small of his back. Little ginger getting up as Mexico puts Romero in the box for 2 minutes.
I ran into Marquez one time in Kansas City on a full sprint. He did not budge. I think I got the worst of it.
So Brazil with a power play that counts down to either 9:17 remaining in the quarter or to a goal that could cut into this 5-1 deficit. If it mattered for more than summer fun, I'd say it's a must-score power play for Brazil.
Yeah, this is a must. You need to get a goal right here. Make it 5-2.
Also, it's a chance to see what they've worked on, what their power play shape is. Here's Lima, pinned well. Nicely done. That's Brandon Gomez, who's taken over in the fourth quarter. The Empire Strikers keeper. He who alternates with Orozco. Brian Orozco. He might be a little bit confused, Gomez, because he's asked to actually stay in his crease right now and play keeper instead of wandering up the wall. Here comes Brazil with a minute left on the power play. Henderson Pereira across the field to Leo. El Mago, Leo. The magician. Marquez on the back post. Lima on the near post. Stepping up, Gomez. Well done. Gutierrez jumps on it, shorthanded. Christian begging for a call.
Oh.
Cards out. Kia found his card. Been missing for 3 quarters. He found it in the fourth. And well done by Christian Gutierrez on the counterattack, basically to slow down and sell the penalty there.
Yeah, but he's got to go in the box.
Kia's, could you please kindly come across the field and go in the box, buddy? So after no penalties for 48 minutes, we get 2 in the course of less than 2 minutes. It means 39 seconds of 4v4, after which Mexico will have a power play for 1 minute and 19.
Mexico is just going to keep the ball right now. It'd be silly to force it forward. And then they'll try to waste the 39 seconds and then take advantage when they have it.
I said it wrong. Minute 21 of power play for Mexico, in case you want to be pedantic and worry about those 2 seconds. Here comes Leo. 22 seconds on the 4v4. Leo with more space says, I'm hungry. Let me eat. Diaz. Leo. Here comes Leo. Fires it off the soccer script logo above the frame. Another try. Gomez defended Andreas on the near post. Penalty is over for Mexico. Power play is in. Romero is out of the box. Diaz sprawls on the ball. Rojo! And there's the man out of the box for the goal. A power play goal for Jaime Romero.
So that happened
Rojo the assist for 6-1.
That happened just after timing. So does that mean that was the power play? They were up a man.
That's literally the man out of the box for the goal.
Straight there. Oh, yeah, it was, actually. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to that very well.
5:54 that time, a goal. This one's gotten out of hand with 5 straight for Mexico in the second half. Rojo has assists on the last 2 goals for Mexico. As we mentioned, last time these teams met in Iowa was 10-9. It is not 10-9. Here's the star, Medina. He's got 3, he wants more. Pushed, gently nudged. Number 11, Williams Vassoura, off the ball. The Brazilian fans oohed and booed. That penalty should have come off the board. That's just a little scorekeeping nonsense, but it doesn't matter.
Well, that's what I was looking at earlier, was like, wait a second, was it right before or after? But
yeah, no, it was after. And in fact, 11 is out of the box and is on the field, so
yeah,
just having some fun. Hey, it's summer. It's all good. Here's Gonzalez. Charlie. Back to Cardenas. You're watching a level at which the sport is played with true love 12 months a year. Charlie. Medina in the corner. Fires! Crossbar down and out. Almost had a 4th. Officials timeout. Let's take a quick break. Our last one of this first of 4 broadcasts to bring you from Oceanside, California. It's 6-1 Mexico leading Brazil. We've got the finish after this. It's the 4 Nations Cup. USA Colombia still to come at 7 on MASL TV. Soccer's fans, don't miss a moment of the action in the 2025-26 MASL season. Season tickets are available and on sale now. Lock in your seats today and be part of every goal, every save, and every win here at Frontwave Arena. All you have to do is go to either sdsoccers.com or frontwavearena.com. We'll see you here right around Thanksgiving. That's when you can expect to see the MASL and the Soccers back in action. Not on Thanksgiving, but right around. 6-1 Mexico here. The green, white, and red getting ready for a championship match tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Brazil dead set on the third place game right now. Maybe a chance to take on, who knows? I think the U.S. is a heavy favorite over Colombia. I know the score was not great in Iowa, but as we've seen, it's a very different game here. So who knows?
Oh, it's a totally different team from the Colombia group that we had in Iowa.
Cerda and Mexico. Clock's on their side right now. Christian Gutierrez. That's a nice ball. Two Brazilian defenders out of the play, but Mexico's in no hurry to attack net. Morales, in the back of his jersey, tugged on like Superman's cape. You know, Rainer House had something against that piece of glass over there. Just banging it.
Trying to move the wall. He doesn't want to give up a goal.
Luis blocked. Well, whatever Reiner did, he set up his wall perfectly. Good pressure by Rian Marquez. Brandon Gomez getting some work, allowing the starter, Chris Hernandez, to get 15 minutes off his legs. He'll be back surely in net tomorrow at 5. One of the most impressive young performers. Meanwhile, Brazil will go to a sixth attacker. Reiner House just ran off. And with 6.5 to play, we'll see if Brazil can hold the ball with the extra man on the floor. Henderson's the man in the middle, Pereira. Down to Lima, mid-wall right. Back out to Vasura, now Leo. Leo normally the architect along with Charlie Gonzalez of the Soccer's power play. It's two on opposite sides of this match. Lima down, Pereira. Again, this is not a power play. The net to our left, screen left, is empty. Extra man for Brazil, mostly being used in that Empire Strikers space occupying style right now. Hasn't touched the ball once. Now he does. Into the middle. Trying to find Vasura, and instead, empty net bid is on target. And that's a fourth for Medina. Why not? The shoe looks white, but the boot's becoming more golden all the time. A 5-point game and a 7-1 lead.
Yeah, I mean, six attacker can be your worst enemy sometimes. It's a tough thing to do, maintain possession when they're dropped in. They got pressure on the top. Just takes one bad touch and one well-placed shot.
Undaunted, Brazil presses on. I mean, there's no tiebreaker. There's no score differential. It doesn't matter. Might as well keep trying. Under 5 to play. Again, we'll be taking a break. When this one is done, we won't be staying on the air. We'll rejoin you at 7 o'clock for the United States and Colombia. couple quick near post shots parried by Gomez. Now Leo outside, trying to free himself, blocked by his teammate Cardenas. Took it off the shoulder. And now he's the king of the empty netter. Gutierrez sending in Charlie. Charlie. Well defended. Henderson gets it away from him. 4:15 left to go. Hope the indoor fans around the country are enjoying seeing their sport back on their screens. I think our minds can't help but drift towards tomorrow at 5 o'clock and what could be a really exciting final. Mexico certainly showing their mettle and why they're going to be there. Pretty much why they're always there. If it's a World Cup, if it's a Nations Cup, if it's indoor and it's Mexico, they're going to be there.
Agreed. This team is very solid. They've been solid for years. Knocking on the door to win a World Cup, then they won one. Almost won another one.
I mean, we were there to see a younger Gutierrez and Charlie and Rojo and all the players, Serta, who came together in Australia and won that championship down in Perth. And it just feels like that's a platform that they achieved, and they've just gone higher ever since.
Yeah, definitely. That the squad they've built the foundation of their national team off of that event, knowing that they could contend and win. And then since then, they've had the target on their back as being one of the best teams in the world in this small-sided mini football. And this is the squad, and these are the players, and this is the coaching staff that has been there this whole time. So, you know, the fact that you have a bunch of players that know each other so well, it makes it really hard to break them down. This Brazilian team is talented, and they're having a hard time getting a second goal.
You can see Luis Jaime Borrego really leading that huddle. As we remind you, our next broadcast coming up at 7 o'clock right here on MASL TV, National Soccer Network, on YouTube, United States and Colombia. Colombia, a newly reorganized team after the Iowa endeavor. Jesus Chuy Molina, who was at one point a Soccer's teammate, and then many times a Soccer's foil, and then was your teammate up in Stockton.
Yep.
Back in the day, Brian, right?
Yeah, I've been teammates with him and played against him for 15 years at one point. Yeah, he's a legend, stud, super nice guy. It's going to be fun to watch him try to coach his way against this U.S. team.
Alex Caceres, the Tacoma Stars veteran leader, the left-footed defender, he'll be there. And somehow David Ortiz snuck onto Team Colombia, which is funny because he represents the United States of America on the U.S. national futsal team.
I've heard some chatter about that. It's, I think it's opportunistic. He was called up to see if he had any interest in playing. He wasn't on the U.S. roster. Said why not? Well, I'm going to show these U.S. guys they should have selected me for this roster, and I'm going to come in and play against you. And I bet we see a lot out of him. We'll see. I mean, it's definitely going to be a fun match. We'll see here in a couple hours. It's going to start off fun, and I'm sure we're not going to have the same result we had in Iowa.
Brazil working with 6 attackers. They've conceded once in this format, have yet to score. Their one goal came on a lovely 2v1 counter. It's about 6 minutes into the first quarter. It's been nothing since. Some good pressure forcing on Christian Hernandez in the second quarter. And right here, a free kick has been drawn by Brazil. Thiago Henrique. So let's see if the Brasileños can come up with a goal.
So
like Team Colombia is watching from behind the net right now.
Yeah. Two-man wall. Probably look to bring it back up to the top.
Marquez stepped through it, and then the shot too high. Leo couldn't put it on frame. Final 2:44 of this one. Appreciate Brazil fighting it all the way to the final whistle. House is in there, waiting to see if Brazil gets possession, and then he's going to wind sprint off again.
I think our comments the last few minutes about Mexico being a solid team, it's magnified when you can see that two Brazilian faces of the league from Kansas City and San Diego are not on the same page with trying to clean up a ball. And they're both, throwing their hands up at each other. And they're both talented players, but it's just clear that they have not played with each other.
There was a moment that Medina was looking for a fifth. Serta down low. Good block by House. Medina saw it come off of his feet. He would love nothing more than to poach a fifth. Under 2 to play. Here's Rojo with a couple of assists tonight. Gallegos. Well defended in the middle by Andreas. And then from behind, the steal. There's Medina. Can he get 5? Medina through the legs of the defender, but wide, blocked wide. Pereira kept it off net. And with 90 seconds to play, it's back to Brazil. It's true, isn't it, Brian, that all of the kits that we see, including the ones coming up later tonight, are also being auctioned off?
There's a live auction happening for some of the jerseys, not all of the jerseys. So it's U.S. and Mexico jerseys. There was some questions about bringing in Brazil and Colombia jerseys. So there's an extra jersey given to all the players. And then there was no jerseys for the auction. Unfortunately, it's been a learning curve on having 4 teams in the event this year and what we wanted to do. And there was unknown roster changes, so that's why it just says Brazil and Colombia on the back of those jerseys versus Mexico and the U.S. They know their rosters. They know their teams.
Got it. Well, here's one last chance for Brazil to score as Pereira got brought down for a free kick. Find out more at flightsports.com. Pereira cuts it down low, and Lima's shot missed the short angle. Back to the wing. Down to Enrique. Basura's shot. Saved. Gomez. Loose in front. Lima scores with 14 seconds left.
It's a good response by Lima in the crease. Cleaned it up, and then very athletic movement to volley that home. Gotta love it.
Stung that one pretty nice. 14:47, the time of goal. Douglas Lima gets what you call a parting gift for Brazil. This one mostly Mexico. A strong second half is what got it done, and a 6-goal run for the team in green. Luis Morales got it started, but Jose Antonio Medina, he was the man of the match, no doubt, with 4 goals and an assist. The final seconds tick off, and we achieve full time in match 1 of the Four Nations Cup. Our final score, Mexico 7 and Brazil 2. Brian and I will be back with some closing thoughts, and we'll set up the second game of our doubleheader right after this timeout on MASL TV.
Across the nation, MASL players are giving back. utilizing their professional power to touch and inspire people in their local communities nationwide. Free soccer clinics, where kids can meet their heroes and learn new skills. After-school programs and special events. And surprise visits to the classroom. Visiting brave kids in the hospital, bringing joy and hope. Supporting special needs care, partnering with local businesses, and so much more. MASL, passion on the field, purpose off the field, committed to community.
Wrapping things up here with you from Frontwave Arena. Match 1 of the Four Nations Cup has seen Mexico advance to tomorrow afternoon's championship. They defeat Brazil 7-2. USA and Colombia still to come. Let's take a quick look at our highlights and bring them in for you. Second half highlights, and it's going to be mostly all Mexico, but boy, Luis Morales really got it started with that rocket of a goal, Farbs.
Morales was on it. That was all him, that play, and he put it exactly where you couldn't get it.
Then the floodgates started to open in the middle for the goal. Rodolfo Valenzuela, easy find from the wall to make it a 3-1 score. Medina got that assist there, and then here's Medina again. Brings it down with the right, squibs it through with the left. That's probably the one that Tellus would like to have back as it went between the legs. Nonetheless, give Medina the goal. And then give Medina another goal as Rojo found him wide open on the right angle. Perfectly done. Just like that, it was a 5-1 score. Fourth quarter, some more. Jaime Romero, fresh out of the penalty box, puts it in. Then with 6 attackers on the floor, time for some long-range sniping. And J. Medina picks up his 4th goal of the match, and he does it from just in front of the yellow line for 3/4 court. Douglas Lima gets a parting gift for Brazil, finding the loose ball and lovely bending scissor kick there to put the final score set at -5 for Brazil, 7-2, your final score. So, pretty impressive outing by Mexico, and they'll await the winner of our next broadcast. And let's bring that up for you. It's the United States, and it is Colombia coming up at 7 p.m. Farbs and I will be right back here in our north side booth at Frontwave Arena with all the action. And we thank you in advance for your attendance on that one. Want to say thanks as well to our Emoda broadcast crew. Producers Chris Karcher and Terry Parrish, technical director Dan Patton, AV Tech manager James Allen, Lewis Cooper, our director of photography, audio engineers Matthew Sparrow and Spencer White, Kelly Hyatt, our replay operator, Larry Patton, our graphics man, and with utilities, Andrew Karcher. Emoda crew, thank you for your work on Match 1. And we'll be back with you for Match 2 coming up at 7 o'clock. Until then, for Brian Farber, I'm Craig Elston reminding you of the final score of this one as Mexico takes down Brazil 7-2. We'll talk to you in a few hours. Until then, so long from Frontwave Arena.